habit mind versus logic mind. Why understanding this difference can transform your life. Habit mind is subconscious mind, also called the automatic brain, habit brain, or subconscious mind. Operates 95% of daily behavior without conscious thoughts. It's like autopilot, running learned behaviors, routines, and emotional responses. It is formed by repetition, emotional imprinting, and past experiences. For example, brushing your teeth without thinking, driving home on autopilot, reaching for sugar when it's stressed out, feeling action when phone buzzes. Um, it is fast, efficient, and energy saving, but usually not rational. It repeats what's familiar, not what's good. Logic mind is a conscious mind, the thinking brain, where reasoning, decision making, and planning happens. It uses your prefrontal cortex. It's responsible for executive function. It controls only about 5 to 10% of your daily behavior. It's slow, it's effortful, and easily overwhelmed. Examples: trying to resist temptation, that's a logic brain. Making a new budget, starting a new diet, starting something new, practicing mindfulness, or learning a new language. Anything new you start doing out of your routine is, and it is something comes from your logic mind. Why this matters? That you can know what's good for you by your logic, by logic mind, but still do what's bad because that's your habit brain. So it's like people say, I know I should eat healthy and exercise and sleep early, but I don't. So that's a subconscious mind talking. And then people say, yeah, I'm not a breakfast kind of person. I don't eat breakfast. Skip breakfast. And they are reluctant to make the change. That's a part of subconscious mind, and that has taken over. So as you can imagine, if subconscious mind does 90% of what we do every day, so then it comes down to subconscious mind basically making all the decision. So what can you do so that your logic mind takes over certain subconscious behavior or habits? So once you do that, you start seeing the changes. The problem is that most of the bad habits, eating late, doom scrolling, procrastinating, stress eating, they're all controlled by habit mind. And if you never bring these patterns into awareness, they will run your life and your health on autopilot. The solution is to take back control. You cannot delete old habit, but you can replace them. You can override them. That's what it is. How do you overwrite your old habits? Or how does a logic mind um, changes subconscious behavior, subconscious mind pattern? Awareness. First of all, you have to identify, you have to acknowledge that it's your habit brain doing it. It's your subconscious pattern. And then you interrupt it. You pause it. For example, if somebody gets up in the morning and first thing they do is drink alcohol or drink a smoke, they need to interrupt it. They need to do something to pause it and think about it, that, oh, okay, they have decided to change that. They have to decided to break that old habit. So if you pause before acting and you take few deep breath and tell yourself why you're doing it and what is your logic mind telling you, and then you replace that with a better routine and say, like, maybe I'm just gonna go for a 2 minutes walk with my dog, or I'll just tend to my plants or water my plants. So you're replacing that slowly. If you keep doing it again and again and again, you will be able to interrupt and replace. Now, you have to be very disciplined about it, because your subconscious mind is always gonna sabotage it, always gonna try to sabotage it. So you have to be very, very careful. So repetition, in awareness, interruption, replacing it with something different, and repeat, repeat, repeat. And when you start doing all this, so you start rewiring your brain. You create a new neurological connection, neuronal connection. And when that neural connection gets established, usually takes 6 to 8 weeks, um, then you know that you have changed the whole habit. Now, what you have to do, one thing is that you have to tie the new habit or repetitive or replacement, whatever you're doing, with emotion. So you're gonna say you are doing this so that you can lose weight or you can stay healthy. You wanna live longer for your kids, or you wanna be happier and healthier. And so you have to add emotion to it. And because your new habit got to have some purpose and meaning and identity, right? So if you want to become non-alcoholic, non-smoker, and you have to think about how you're gonna feel where you don't drink alcohol in the morning or smoke in the morning, you are feeling much better. You're gonna be changing yourself from smoker to non-smoker, alcoholic to non-alcoholic, and that's the emotion you create for yourself. So old habit, for example, you stress out, you eat chips at 9 p.m., you feel guilty, then you repeat. A new conscious habit would be you stress out, you breathe for 2 minutes, you take a breathe for 2 minutes, make some maybe chamomile tea, and then you write down what you're thinking. And then you sleep early, and over time this becomes a new autopilot. So until you make the unconscious mind conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. And that's a quote by famous Carl Jung. So if you want a better body, mind, and relationship or life, you must take conscious control over your subconscious routine. So remember, repetition, replacement. So first of all, you have awareness, you interrupt, you replace, and you repeat, and then the emotions are tied. Thank you for watching.